Message from Sunnah Followers. This is from Sheikh Saleh. We need to unite. Sisters, wear your hijab, wear your beards, be proud of your beards. Stay home, stay in your home. Stand up, unite, and stand for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's right, Saleh. We all should stand up in solidarity, not transgressing the limits of the law, but standing together with patience and understanding. This is Sunnah Followers.
With dignity, humility, and balance.
If you want to learn about how to balance and maintain your faith every day, you need to be here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, being taught by Laila Nasheeba, streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers. Hope to see you there, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Yusuf and this is Ayub. And if you are benefiting like we are from the classes and the ongoing programming and tuning into the Sunnah Followers, please donate. Let this be an ongoing sadaqah jariyah on your behalf. You're helping the kids, the conference, and everyone seeking knowledge. And it's a wealth of information every day you tune in. Don't forget, you are being rewarded for your generous donations to keep this programming on air. You know, just like what you're hearing, put your dollar where the dollar's at. Right here on Sunnah Followers. Don't forget, donate. Right here to Sunnah Followers and dollars at. Assalamu alaikum. Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Listen, we are in dire need of donations to keep these shows running and available for you 24/7. So that means when you're in the car, it's available for you to listen to. Whether you're at work, streaming, playing a game, it's available for you to listen to. Rowing your deen and learning about the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful different topics of Islam. Listen, one of the heaviest deeds that could be placed on your scale on the Day of Judgment is Sadaqah Jariyah. Yes, I know, I'm trying to build deeds daily. So you can too. So listen, feel free, and please, from the bottom of your heart, donate to this wonderful cause, wonderful website and platform to continually push out shows that will benefit you and the Muslim Ummah. Yes, you can donate by going to the Sunnahfollowers.net website, pressing the donate tab. You can also scan the QR code in YouTube on the far left top of our videos that are streaming. Listen guys, this is very important, and take this as important. We want to keep this programming available for you 24/7 so that you have access in your car, anywhere you choose to tune in to this wonderful programming. Yes, guys, it's all at your disposal. So listen, feel free to donate. Once again, remember, Sadaqah Jariyah, one of the heaviest deeds on your scale on the Day of Judgment.
Sunnah Followers presents a new hadith class taught by Ustada Laila Nasheeba, Riyadus Salihin, every Monday and Wednesday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnah Followers. Woke. There are so many things going on around. You must take heed. It's been written and prophesied about, so you must believe. Not everything that glitters is gold. Pay attention as it's been told. Join us every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, with Brother Yusuf as he tackles and breaks down current events, current news and politics, and the Islamic Ummah. Please join us, streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnah Followers. One of the 10 who Jannah was promised, the second Caliph, a strong, devout, noble, and fierce soldier of Allah, made an impact in Islam.
Islam, his name, Umar ibn al-Kitab. Continuing in this series, the companions of the Prophet, taught by Brother Mukhtar Shahid, streaming on all major platforms. Stay tuned for the time and date, right here, channel Sunnah Followers.
You will make it through. The fitra is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah by your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. You will make it through. The fitra is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through.
Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulallah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our series entitled Diluting Wala Wal Bara. And this is our Aqidah series. And we are studying from the book, the series created by Dr. Karim Abuzaid, entitled The Correct Belief Series. And this whole series addresses what the correct belief system should be for each and every one of us as Muslims aspiring to become believers here in this world, in hopes of us having a better outcome when we're in that grave, inshallah. And we've been focusing on chapter 6 of this book. And for those of you who have not yet purchased this book, please go to Amazon.com and you can buy this book there. The book is only, I think, $19.99. Look for Dr. Karim Abuzaid's Amazon page. You can buy this book, and then I highly recommend you get the second volume of this book, which is entitled Diluting Wala Wal Bara, Volume 2, because when we complete this volume, if Allah allows me to live long enough, I will go into the second volume of this topic as well. And what does Wala Wal Bara refer to in English? Well, it's part of the testimony of faith. It refers to what our allegiance entails as a Muslim. When we declare La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, we are declaring that our allegiance is to Allah, and it is to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We're also declaring that our allegiance is to the religion of Islam and to each other. We're declaring that we will uphold all the laws, all the rules, all the guidelines that Allah has set forth for us in his book, the Quran. We're also declaring that we will uphold the commands, the laws, the rules, and the guidance that our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has set forth for us in his sunnah, or his example. We are also declaring that that we will uphold this religion in its entirety, that we will uphold this religion in its totality. That means that we will not pick and choose what parts of this religion to accept, that we will accept and submit to this way of life totally. You know, we will accept to everything and accept everything that Allah commands us to accept, whether we like it or not, whether we understand it or not. Okay, and we're also declaring that our allegiance will be to each other, irregardless as to what color, what our colors are, what our race is, what country we come from, what nationality we have, what background we come from. The simple fact that another human being declares La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, that means that their honor, their life, their reputation is sacred, that they're sacred, to us, and that you will want for that person what you want for yourself. And we can live together in peace and in harmony, and that the trust will be honored. That's what that allegiance, el wala, and that disassociation, el bara, entails. And we've been discussing this for several weeks now. And tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to speak about the different types of allegiance and the different types of disassociation. In other words, the different types of people when it comes to showing allegiance to one another. Remember, we spoke about how we're not the same. And this is something that I want all Muslims, new and old, to understand. Sometimes when you go to the masjid, you might hear a Muslim make the statement, you're no better than me. We're the same. You can't judge me. You're no different than me. We're all equal. We're all the same. And that's not really correct. First of all, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us that we're supposed to judge each other, not our intentions, but we're supposed to judge one another's actions, because we have to be careful who we allow to get close to us. Because as our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a man, a woman will take on the religion of his or her friend. So we judge each other's character and we judge each other's behavior, because that may determine, if this person is someone that I need to surround myself with. But I don't ever try to judge your intentions, because no one knows your intentions except Allah. Okay. And as far as us being the same, no, Allah is clear in the Quran that we're not the same. Even the prophets, alayhi salam, were not the same. They were of different statuses. They were not equal. As Allah tells us, the messengers are of a higher status than the prophets were. And of the messengers, the 5 were higher than the others. So, we're not on the same level. We're on different levels in our closeness to Allah based on our faith. So, because of that difference, some of us are more deserving of allegiance than others. And that's what we're going to focus on today. Some of us are more deserving of love. Some of us are more deserving of our love and our help and our support than others. And on the other hand, some of us are more deserving of our disassociation because of their actions and behavior as well. So let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen for tonight's discussion. And tonight we will be completing chapter 6 of the book. So I believe tonight we're going to be starting on page 64. We'll be covering pages 64 through 66, inshallah. I think this is pages 64 through 66. And again, for those of you who have not yet purchased the book, you want to head over to Amazon and get a copy of this book. And this is the Blue Book. It's written by Dr. Karim Abuzaid. May Allah bless him. May Allah forgive him of his sins. Ameen. And may this entire series be a barakah for him. And may this entire series be what gets him through the punishment of the grave and make him a green bird flying around the throne of Allah and get him through the crossing of the bridge into paradise, because I have yet to find a book of Aqidah that surpasses this, that's been written in English for the English speaking population. You know, it's really great. So please make sure you guys buy the whole series. We already covered Get to Know Your Lord. This is the second of the trilogy, okay? So we'll be covering pages 64 through 66, which is completing chapter 6 of the book. And we will be discussing tonight the different types of allegiance, those people who are most deserving of our allegiance, and those people who are most deserving of our disassociation. So let's take a look at it. Okay, and let me put my PowerPoint up here. Now, there are two distinct types of allegiance that exist within the Islamic framework. Those people who are entitled to our complete allegiance, and those people who are entitled to partial allegiance from us. Now, the people who are entitled to our complete allegiance are the prophets of Allah. Okay, so the prophets of Allah, Adam alayhi salam, Moses, Jesus, Abraham, Solomon, David, all the prophets that Allah sent, they are entitled to our love, our support, our help, 100%. Why? Because they are the best of mankind, sent to us by Allah to guide us, to call us to the truth, to lead us. So we obey them. Whatever they tell us to do, we do, because the prophets of Allah, they were inspired by Allah. They were not inspired by themselves. And as we all know, there will be no prophets after the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So no one can come amongst us today and call himself a prophet, because there are no more prophets. The LDS Smith is not a prophet. Okay, we have men today. Elijah Muhammad is not a prophet. Okay. So the prophets of Allah, they are deserving and entitled to our complete allegiance. Also the martyrs. And this is the tricky part, because the Prophet Muhammad told us to be careful with this. There's a lot of Muslims who think that just because a person dies in a war, they're a martyr. That's not true. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us in an authentic hadith. What's the source? Sahih Bukhari. He said, don't go around saying that this person is a martyr or that person is a martyr because they died in a battle or they died as a result of a war, because only Allah knows who the true martyrs are. You do not know why that person was fighting. You don't know what that person was fighting for. He saw Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, walking around the battlefield, referring to the fallen men as being martyrs. The Prophet said, "Oh Umar, I can see the man that you just referred to as a martyr. I see him in the hellfire, holding on to the red cloak that he stole from the war booty." So never refer to a person as being a martyr, because only Allah knows who the true martyrs are. But the true martyrs, they are deserving of our complete allegiance. But the tricky part is, you don't know who the true martyrs are. And that's why a lot of our Muslim youth get duped. We have a lot of terrorists amongst us today. When you look at these terrorist groups like Al-Shabaab, like Al-Qaeda, and Al-Hamas, and I want to make it clear, Hamas is a terrorist group. Anybody that tells you that the Hamas are not a terrorist group, don't listen to them. They are terrorists. You'll get duped. These people are not martyrs. They're terrorists. They're instigators. They start the war. They start the fitan. Okay? But the true martyrs are deserving of our allegiance. Also, the people that are deserving of our complete help, our complete support, our complete allegiance are the righteous believers. Who are the righteous believers? Allah defines who the righteous believers are to us in numerous verses of the Quran. Allah says the believers are those who are devoted to their prayers. They perform their prayers every day, their 5 prayers every day. They also fast the month of Ramadan. How many of you made up your days of Ramadan? They also dress the way Allah commanded them to dress. How many of you sisters are wearing hijab? How many of you sisters are wearing loose abayas? I'm not talking about those abayas with belts to show your derriere and to show your breasts. If you're showing your breasts and your derriere, that's not a righteous Muslim woman. How many of you women are wearing perfume on the internet? That's my new thing now. How do you wear perfume on the internet? Whenever you sisters put a check mark on a man's Facebook post, a man who is not your mahram, he is not your husband, he's not your brother, he's not your father, he's not your uncle, he's not your son, he's not your grandfather, he's not your nephew, he is not the imam of your local masjid. He's not a man who you deal with in business. You have no knowledge of him at all. He has no knowledge of who you are at all. But you wear perfume. You have passed him by on the internet with your perfume. Your perfume is the check mark. You have brought attention to yourself. You have made him look at you by checking his Facebook post. That's perfume. Allah commands us Muslim women to not put perfume on or to not leave our homes unless we are covered properly, because we're bringing unnecessary attention to ourselves. Allah commands us as Muslim women to not soften our voices when we speak publicly, because we're bringing unnecessary attention to ourselves. Well, when you sisters put a check mark on a man who is a stranger to you on Facebook or TikTok, you have brought unnecessary attention. And what did the Prophet say? Any woman who puts on perfume and leaves her home, for every man who she passes by, who smells her, it is as if she's committed adultery with him. For every woman now who checks the box of a man who is not a mahram to her to bring attention to herself, it is as if she's committed adultery with him. It's the same thing. If the prophet were living on earth today, he would tell you, sisters, the same thing. It's the same thing. Okay, so righteous women wouldn't be putting check marks on brothers' lectures and posts. Aisha wouldn't do it. Salama wouldn't do it. Khadija wouldn't do it. Radiallahu anha, to all of them. I'm going to keep saying that until you women get it through your head. The truth is a bitter pill to swallow. I'm probably making some brothers angry too, because for the women who believe in Allah, when they hear me say this, that's going to make your game a little harder. That's going to make it a little harder for you brothers to find some women. I know, but the truth is a bitter pill to swallow. And I'm a daya, I'm a teacher, and I am a woman. And I know the game. Somebody has to put the foot down. Somebody has to put the barrier up. And I'm on a mission from Allah to put those barriers back up, brothers and sisters, because my dawah is aimed to you, sisters. We got to stop all this illegal behavior. So the people that are deserving of our allegiance are the prophets, the martyrs. You're welcome, sister. Okay, a couple of sisters just text me and said, thank you, sister, for the reminder. You are so right. Yes, see, the truth is a bitter pill to swallow, but it makes sense. When we look at those hadiths, they apply to today. You know, they didn't have the internet, but the women did walk out their house and get attention from the men by going to the marketplace with perfume on. The perfume attracts the attention. Well, I don't have to put on perfume and go to the market. We got DoorDash. I can DoorDash food. We got Instacart. I ain't got to go shopping no more. I can stay in the house all day. But if I want some man's attention, all I got to do is go on social media and put a check mark on all his posts. He's going to look to see what woman is this checking on my post. And there it is. He sees my beautiful face. My check mark is my perfume. And there it is. He's going to check my stuff. I'm going to check him back. TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. Facebook, Facebook you, Facebook you, Facebook you, Facebook you. What app? What's up? What's up? What app me? What app me? Meet up, meet up, meet up with me. Meet up with me. FaceTime, FaceTime, FaceTime with me. Now we got a Zena. We got the Zena. We got the Zena going on. Y'all see? We've transgressed the limits of Allah. Sisters, we got to stop it. I want you women to teach this to your daughters. We got to get our grandbabies off the internet. Most of you sisters listening to me are in my age bracket. Most of y'all are older women like me. We got to save our children. We got to save our daughters. We got to save our granddaughters and our great-granddaughters. I got great-grandbabies now. I got some babies, some great-granddaughters. My grandbabies are fine. My daughters are fine and finer than me. Y'all think I look good? My grandbabies are busted. We got to teach this to our granddaughters and great-granddaughters. We got to stop this. Get them off of this TikTok. We got to be role models for them. We got to stop checking the boxes. Exactly. All right. So our people deserving of our allegiance are the prophets, the martyrs, the righteous, and also the honest. who have demonstrated their devotion to Islam. These are the people who deserve the highest degree of allegiance. And on the other hand, the Muslims receive degrees of allegiance based on how sincerely, that's the key, how sincerely they practice this religion. You know, you got a sister over there that's not wearing a hijab. We show allegiance to her, but I'm not going to show my allegiance to her like I would to that sister who is wearing hijab. You know, our allegiance varies based on how each Muslim practices their deen. The stronger that person practices their deen, the better, the stronger our allegiance is to them. As Muslims, we are admonished by Allah to love all the believers. Okay? We don't harbor no animosity, you know, towards anyone. Just because that sister doesn't wear hijab doesn't mean that I hate her. You know, she's still my sister. Okay? But I'm going to try to encourage her to stop bringing the hatred of Allah on her because she's not wearing hijab. I'm going to do everything in my power to encourage her to put a hijab on, because I'm going to let her know that Allah hates those who deliberately, intentionally disobey him. I'm going to encourage her to try to, you know, do the best she can to obey Allah. I'm going to let her know she can't hang out with me, because Allah tells us in the Quran that we don't sit in the company of people who commit sin. I may tell her, I'm not going to let you hang out with me, you know, but when I see you, I'm going to give you your rights as a Muslim. If you need help, I'll be here to help you. Okay? But I can't have you hang out with me, because I don't want to be a part of the wrath if Allah send it on you. But if you need help with anything, if you need me to show you how to put a hijab on, if you need some hijabs, if you need money to help pay your bills, I'll help you with all that. But you can't come to my gatherings. I'm only letting, if you're going to come to my gatherings, you got to have a hijab on. You guys understand that we have to, you know, let them know that we're not going to, you know, accept their sinful behavior, so to say. All right? As Muslims, we are expected to adhere to our Islamic teachings above all else, and never compromise our allegiance to Allah and his messenger. Now that text was my DoorDash. So that means if I get up, I have to get my DoorDash. Okay? So I want you guys to understand that as Muslims, we never compromise Islam for anything. Our allegiance is to Allah and to the Prophet first and foremost. If there's a sister in the community that doesn't cover up, you have to make it clear to her. If you want to come to my gatherings, you have to cover up. If you're not going to wear a hijab, if you're not going to dress appropriately, I can't invite you. I'm not going to compromise the religion, you know, for that. All right. Also, as Muslims, we are required to adhere to our principles. There is no end to the loyalty between Muslims. Just because a Muslim does not practice, we don't refer to them as being kafirs. This is important. She doesn't wear hijab. That doesn't make her a kafir. That makes her a sinful Muslim. If she dies, we still bury her as a Muslim. We still prepare her body as a Muslim. We still perform the funeral prayer for her and all of that. We still make dua for her and all of that. Is that clear? We have to get out of this bad practice of referring to the non-practicing Muslims as being kafir. They're just weak. unless they deny La ilaha illallah, unless they deny the tenets of Islam, we do not refer to them as being kafir. They're just weak, non-practicing Muslims. We're still obligated to give them their rights. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning. Verily, your protector or helper is Allah and his messenger and the believers. And who are the believers? The believers are those who perform the prayer and give in charity and submit themselves with obedience to Allah. And whoever takes Allah and his messenger and those who have believed as protectors, then the party of Allah will be victorious. So those are the believers amongst us. Those Muslims who practice the religion, those are the true believers. Those who are not practicing, are weak, but they're not kafir, they're just weak. Okay? That doesn't mean that we turn our back on them. It's just that our allegiance, we still owe them help and support, but not as much help and support as we give to those who do practice. That's the difference. Listen to what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. He said the parable of the believers in regards to their love and mercy and compassion for each other is like a body. When one part of the body hurts, the entire body reacts to that hurt. Even though that sister is not wearing a hijab, she's still my sister in Islam. Okay? Even though that brother over there is weak in his faith and practice, he's still my brother in Islam. All right? So this Quranic verse and hadith emphasize the importance of having affection and allegiance amongst each other. In the verse, Allah, his prophet, and the believers are described as those who protect and help each other, and who choose Allah and his prophet and the believers as their guardians. Even though she doesn't wear hijab, she still chooses Allah. She still chooses the prophet. She still chooses the Muslims as her guardian. Okay? She's not choosing Jesus. She's not choosing anyone else. She doesn't choose the non-Muslims. She's just weak. Or maybe she doesn't know the virtues of wearing a hijab. She has to be taught properly. Okay? Also, this verse and hadith emphasize the importance of having devotion for Allah and his prophet and the fellow Muslims who adhere to the Islamic principles and teachings. And that's the problem, guys. Most Muslims today have not been taught Islam properly. I was listening to a famous khatib, a famous speaker from out of Texas. I don't have to mention his name, but he's very well known. You guys love him. Most of y'all got him on y'all's page. Most of you don't know that he's a mystic Sufi. He's a mystic Sufi. He'll tell you he's now is a Sufi. He ain't Salafi. Okay? Yes, sister. I got your text message, sister. May Allah bless you. I was listening to a lecture he just put out last week. In his lecture, he made some statements that are not correct. He was saying some things that totally contradict the principles of Islam. Things that totally contradict what Allah says about the prayer. The Prophet Muhammad was clear on making prayer and the times of prayer and how it's performed. He was saying things like, well, don't worry about it. I'm like, what you mean don't worry about it? You have to worry about making salat. Of course, there's exceptions. You might get busy. Something might happen. If you're a doctor, you might get tied up in surgery. But he was like, just because the brother doesn't pray, I mean, no, the prayer is serious. Okay? So a lot of these Muslims just don't know. They haven't learned the religion properly. They're listening on the internet to speakers who are telling them things about the prayer, about the hijab. This and that same lecture that this famous Khatib gave. He said about the hijab, he brushed off the hijab. He said, don't worry about the hijab. If she don't feel comfortable covering up, she ain't got to cover up. That's not true. Allah said a woman must cover up. She must dress the way Allah commanded, whether she likes it or not. That's a command from Allah. But he basically said if a new shahada is not comfortable covering up, she don't have to. If the new shahada, they ain't comfortable praying, basically they ain't got to. So most of the Muslims, are not wearing hijab or not praying because they were taught that they don't have to do it until they're comfortable. So again, we have to be careful, attacking each other, especially these new shahadas and calling them kafir, because most of these people are acting based on what they've been told. So again, these verses highlight the interconnectedness of believers and the importance of extending mercy and compassion to one another. If even one member of the Islamic community is suffering from anguish, the whole community will not be able to flourish. We have to, put ourselves in the shoes of one another. We have to look out for our fellow believers. Stop thinking the worst of each other. Instead, give the benefit of the doubt to one another and try to help each other to better understand the religion and better practice it. That's allegiance. Some of us are more deserving of it, and others of us are not. Okay. Okay, for the new shahada that just texted me, good. She's saying that she understood. Thank you. Okay, now that's allegiance. Now, what about the different categories of people or the different ways to distance ourselves when dealing with each other? Well, the power of Bara. Okay. The sister is I know you texted me, but it's kind of okay. I got some new shahadas that's just texting me. All right. Bara. This entails distancing ourselves from anything that stands between Allah's laws, Allah's commands, or the Prophet Muhammad's sallallahu alaihi wasallam commands. Distancing ourselves from anything that contradicts what Allah says or opposes our way of life. It also entails hating the things that Allah hates. And by us living in a world that's filled with distractions, as Muslims, we have to remain steadfast in our devotion to Allah. And we have to reject any influences that can lead us away from the path of justice. Like I'm using social media. Social media has become a big fitna for us as a nation. It's destroying us as a ummah. Our marriages are being destroyed. Our children are apostating. Our children have become like the non-Muslim kids. They're picking up boys and girls and sex and all of this. Look at us. We're having affairs on the internet. We're fornicating, adulterating, we're having relationships with women and men who, out of wedlock and out of marriage. It's just sad. We have to distance ourselves from this worldly crap that contradicts Islam. You know, when we talk about El Bara, this is a reminder to stay firm and to cling to Islam's teachings and to resist the temptation of the dunya. And by embracing El Bara, it inspires us to cultivate a sense of clarity and focus on our lives. It causes us to redirect our energy and efforts towards pleasing Allah and adhering to His guidance, and not pleasing society or succumbing to what society dictates as the norm. That's why Sheikh Morsi called me this morning. He said he really loved that analogy I used about perfume and my kryptonite. The woman is the kryptonite for man. I think Jamali liked that too. Okay. And when you put a check mark on a man's Facebook post, that's the same as if you walked past a man with perfume on. You brought attention to yourself. And that's the reason why we can't wear perfume in the public, because we're bringing attention to yourself. You're getting a man's attention. I put a check mark on this brother's page. I brought attention to me. I committed adultery. It's the same. That's what the prophet said. Any woman who puts on perfume, she gets the scent of adultery and passes by a man and he smells her. It is as if she's committed adultery with that man. Well, any woman that puts a check on a post of any man who is not a mahram to her, it's as if she's committed adultery with him. Same thing. How many women, sisters, how many men have we committed adultery with today? Some of us has committed adultery with 10 men. That's 10 men that you're going to be punished for in your grave. The punishment won't be on the day of judgment. You're going to be punished for adultery in your grave. You're going to be put naked in that hot cauldron, that oven, while you in the grave, and you're going to be burnt with all the prostitutes. Oh, yeah. It's going to be a nasty thing in that grave, and Allah ain't taking you out until the day of judgment. And He might tell you, give him 100,000 more years. How many men have we committed adultery with, sisters? Sheikh Morsi said he liked that analogy I used. How many men have we committed adultery with? We better start doing some repenting. A lot of us are adulterers. Oh, yeah, because of social media. If we would implement El Bara, how many women have you brothers? Y'all got more than us. Some of you brothers probably done committed adultery with over 1 million women. Oh God, you brothers better be hitting that prayer rug. Seriously, when we look at it like that, it's scary, ain't it? If we embrace El Bara, this will inspire us to cultivate a sense of clarity. Oh, I'm clear on it now. I'm clear. And it will cause us to focus on our lives and take that wasted TikTok checking energy to please and TikTok Allah. Now, there's exceptions. Like I said, for you imams, it's your job to know what's going on in your community. But these women that ain't a part of your community, that ain't your business to TikTok and check on their Facebook pages. For you brothers and sisters who work together, that's different. There's an exception. Or some patient that's different. But you brothers and sisters that's checking, he ain't your imam. He ain't your mahram. He ain't your business associate. I can check with Dr. Jamali. We run this website. Okay, I can check with Karim because, hey, I'm teaching his book. Okay, but I can't go checking with some brother I don't know nothing about. What am I doing that for? I'm just walking past, letting you sniff my perfume so you can see who Laila is. Y'all see what I'm saying? There's exceptions to every rule. But a lot of us are doing it to brothers that have nothing to do with us. We have no relationship with them. He ain't your imam. She ain't your wife. He ain't nothing to do with you. He's across the ocean. He's across the world. You will never come in contact with him. Y'all see what I'm saying, sisters? Common sense. There's exceptions. Co-worker, for the sister that just asked me, that's your co-worker. Y'all work together. You in a law firm. This sister here is a lawyer. That's different. You and him are in a law firm. That's different. Y'all work together. That's business. Business is different. These sisters ain't business. This is pleasure. Come on. We know the game, women. Business is business. Pleasure is pleasure. Y'all got it? Y'all understand now, sisters? That's why you got to continue to learn from a woman. A woman know the game of women. Yeah. You a teacher, right? Right. Business is business. These sisters are doing pleasure. They're looking for pleasure in all the wrong places. Exactly, sister. Exactly, Sister Mariam. Exactly. So, in addition, this rejection of opposition to Islam will ignite a fire within the heart of the believer like it's doing you. Like it's doing you, Sister Mariam. This will fuel your resolve to pursue righteousness, like you sisters here. You sisters here that's commenting, you are looking for righteousness now, okay? You want to do what's right. You want to promote justice. You want to promote the Sunnah. You want to promote goodness in society, okay? And through the lens of Bara, Muslims can overcome the obstacles and remain resilient in times of hardship. We're not resilient today. Look at the wars that's spreading. This war is spreading. It started with Bush, and look how it's spreading. Now it's getting ready to go to Pakistan. Okay? It's going to eventually hit us here in America and the UK too. The war is spreading. We can't remain resilient because we've transgressed the limits of Allah. We're not implementing Bara. Oh, we're not distancing ourselves. We're not implementing Bara. Okay? It's crucial, to note that Bara also does not imply being hostile towards non-Muslims. Instead, it simply entails rejecting and distancing ourselves, from any non-Muslim that opposes our way of life and opposes our ideology. As Allah says, "O you who believe, do not take the unbelievers as allies over the believers." But we've done that. And by the way, I know I messed the PowerPoint up. I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry. I'm on medication. I hit the wrong button, sisters. With medication. So, but this is it. I basically completed it all anyway, though. So basically, guys, this is what I wanted to cover today. If we do have allegiance towards this religion and towards its laws, towards its rules, and we distance ourselves from all those things that Allah tells us to distance ourselves from, we will become better, we become stronger, we become resilient, we be able to handle ourselves. Look at how your faith has grown. All you sisters in that group right there.
Just checking on you.
Look at all you sisters in that group right there. Look at how all you sisters are feeling like, wow, I want to make sure I do the right thing because it's all making sense. See? All right. Okay, any questions or comments? Okay, guys, let me let you guys know what's going on today. Brother Mukhtar will start his class, the Caliphate of Umar, radiallahu anhu. We've been waiting on this. His class will be starting in 5 minutes. So what I'm getting ready to do now is close this this stream. And I'm getting ready to open up Mukhtar's stream. So I'm getting ready to log back in right now. So just so I can be ready for his. Subhana Kalahuma Wabi Hamdika. Ashadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, I have to do it later because I don't have